you will open up the project that you already created, titled in the correct way. And I'm working from an empty project, so I'm going to go ahead and click Empty Project. You can also start over if you would like. This is the audio you're not actually going to record, but this is the best way that we can drag our loops in. So you click Create, come in, here we go. I like to turn off the count-in and turn off the metronome because it takes too much to set it up and you don't really need it. So make sure those are turned off and then you won't hear those clicks in or the clicks during your tracks. So then I'm going to go to my loop library. Notice that I have all my loops downloaded. What you might also see is that some of them are blue, some of them are yellow, and some of them are green. And so if you click this guy right here, you can choose the loop types that you want to see. So we're going to talk about file types really quick. Audio loops. These are WAV files, and they're the blue ones. This means that they have just been recorded and you drag them in as is. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to this one. You can't hear it, but I can. Doesn't sound very nice. But I'm going to go ahead and listen to this one. And so I would drag that in if I wanted to use it all the way to the left. Great. The other file type we have is MIDI loops. And these ones are really cool because you can change it because it's created with a cool computer software. So you have your MIDI, drag it in. These probably won't sound good together, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to drag them in. We click here. Now I want to change the instrument from a synth to something else. So I'm going to go to this icon up here, which is a library, and then I can go through and choose what other instrument I want. Now remember, you have to think about what is still going to sound good. So if you have a chordal instrument that's playing chords like piano or guitar, you want to choose another instrument that is going to play those chords. And you're not going to take a pitched instrument, something like a synth, a piano, guitar, violin, strings, anything like that. You're not going to turn it into percussion. As you can see, some of these I still need to download. They don't take super long to download if you want to play with them. I'm not going to take the time to do it right now. So I'm going to take my synth and I'm going to turn it into a piano. And you'll see that it changes there. So what I want to see in your file is this name, and I'm going to drag this out to loop it longer. This name should be different from this so that I can see that you changed your instrument. Baseline of what I want my AABA track to look like. Now AABA means that A and A are the same, B will be different, and A is the same. Something that's a little confusing is the length. The length of your entire composition needs to be 30 seconds. Now you can see these loop lengths are all different. So I'm going to go ahead and for my first A section, drag these out to match this long one. You can see I have my wave file, I have a green MIDI file, I have two drums, and so that's totally fine because I liked how they sounded together. I'm going to just drag these out so that they're all the same. And you can't hear them, but I can, so you should go back and listen. If you want to get really interesting, you can layer how they enter, so I could pull this one over a little bit and then shorten it, but I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to hit Command Z to undo. Now here's my A section. Because the form is AABA, I'm going to click here. I'm going to hold down the Shift button. I'm going to click here, hold down the Shift button, and then select all of them. See how they all lit up? I'll plug my computer in. See how they all lit up? Then I'm going to copy and paste. So you can copy and paste however you want. I'm just going to show you that I'm copying, Command C, then I'm going to paste. And it looks like it pasted over that. So what I'm actually going to do is just drag these out. They stopped at the end of 9, so we're going to stop at the end of 17. And look at that. Now they've all come out. And that is your A section. There are two A's, A1, A2. and they should sound the exact same. To go to my B section, I'm going to go ahead and choose other loops. For right now, there won't probably make sense to you because you can't see, but every different loop that you drag in needs to go into its own track. So if I do my B section, let's say I put a different conga beat in there, that's coming down here. This is going to help you see that it is in fact AABA. Put my drummer in. I think that I need a melodic track, so I'm going to go over here, and you can actually search for specific things. So if you know that you want to be in one genre and want things to sound nice and the same, you can choose whatever genre. Descriptors, you can do this. If you want a dry sound, a groovy sound, a melodic track might help you, but just be careful and really use your ear to be looking at that. You can go by instrument. So I'm going to go by instrument because I know that I want a melodic track, and so I'm going to look through maybe a melodic piano. And I actually can't hear it right now with my headphones in, but we're going to pretend that this one is melodic. Drag it in there, its own track. Maybe I want another piano in there. Maybe I want to add a bass line. So we'll do maybe this bass. You drag it in. Again, here is where it gets a little bit trickier. The B section should be the same length as 1A. So my first A was 8 measures. So I'm going to come out of here and look at this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 measures. Great. I'm going to drag the rest of these out. What you also can do to make sure the B section isn't totally starkly different is take one of your tracks and drag it through the B section. Then the easiest part is doing that last A. I'm going to select this, and what I'm going to do is copy this, copy, Command C is what I pushed, put my playhead right here, which is this guy's playhead. I'm going to paste. But look at what I need to do now. It actually pasted as one A section because we've got 8 measures here. All right, and then you can change this thing up here to do beats and time. And look at that, I'm at 1 minute 3 seconds. Do you see how you can see the A, first A, second A, B, the length of the first A, and then one last A in the same length here. If you do it like this, dragging different loops into new tracks, you can totally see your AABA section and know that it's correct. This part, the AA should be twice as long as the B and twice as long as the second A. But there can be lots of copy and pasting. Things that can make it interesting is you can layer how they come in. So maybe you want to start with the drum beat, then get the piano going, and then the congas can come in later. Whatever you want to do there is fine with me. However you want to do that. Make sure that it sounds interesting, make sure that it's fun, and that you're making it sound musically relevant. Don't just drag random tracks in there. I'm going to go to my sheet and make sure, let's see, I need to make sure I have a chordal track. I know that I do, so what I might do is format this text to do strike through. I know that I had a drum beat, strike through. I needed a melodic track, so I'm going to go back and do that after. I know that it's at least 30 seconds, strike through. I know that I had a wave loop, great. And I know that I had a MIDI loop. And let me show you one more time. I did change the instrument, I just did it off screen. So as you can see here, this says upbeat electric piano. So my MIDI file, I dragged it in here, I clicked on the track, and then I went to this library and I had gone to mallet because I know that piano translates really well to mallet instruments. So I clicked mallet, marimba, and now this will sound like a marimba instead of a piano. Make sure that it still sounds kind of similar to what you want, but can fit in with your track. Again, if you have any, submit to Classroom. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and let's just double check to make sure that I'm saving my file with the right name. AABA, first initial underscore last name. Okay, I can do that. Capital AABA, first initial is E underscore, which is the shift and the dash pushed together. Callan. Great. I'm going to save it wherever makes most sense to me. So to me, it makes sense to leave it in my GarageBand. Great. Save. Make sure that if once you've saved it and titled it, you save it before you turn it in, because it's not like Google Docs where it'll automatically update if you make a change. So just for good measure, I'm going to push File Save because maybe I changed something around. Now I'm going to go to my Google Classroom, and I know that this is the wrong assignment, but at this point I haven't posted the other assignment, but it'll look the same. I'm going to go over here to your work. Wow, look at that. I can upload stuff right to Classroom. Add or create file. This step is super important. Do not drag your file here. What? Don't drag your file here. I'm going to select file from my device, and I'm going to go back and say, okay, where did I save that to? I can go to recents, and look, there it is. Or I could go hunt it down from where it was. I could search it up here. The possibilities are endless. AABA underscore Callan, open. The reason for doing this is because if you drag it in, all the different components come in separately, and then I can't view your band file. Please do not export it to iTunes. Do not export it in any way. Do it right from GarageBand. I want the .band.zip is what it should look like. The last thing, or the second to last thing I'm going to do is click Upload, and you might take a second for it to upload. So just be patient. And then, now the last thing I'm going to do is make sure that I say turn in. Otherwise, I might not know that you're done. So I click turn in, it'll say turn in your work, and I will say yes, turn in my work. Turning in, great. If I want to make a change, I can unsubmit, make a change, push save, and then re-upload, not by dragging, by selecting the file. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, but please see if you can figure out how to do it first by watching this whole video. Hope you guys are having a good